shows are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Welcome to the Edventures in Tech podcast, talking the latest tips and trends in educational technology to innovate and engage your students. Here are your hosts, Andrew and Dan.
Oh, we are back and better live at NYSCATE, the annual conference 2025, being held for the second time now at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. My name is Andrew.
My name is Dan.
And we are excited that you've joined us on this venture. It is day one of the official kickoff of the conference. So there were some sessions this morning, which we'll definitely be able to get into and talk about, some of the things that we have learned so far. We did arrive later last night. But first, I do want to kind of just go over the exhibit floor. That's always a fun part. That just launched about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. And we are, of course, blessed and super excited that we're here with our partnership with Bluum. And we have Joe, who's a regular now on the podcast, I'm going to say. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. And Omar, who Omar's always been camera shy and radio shy, but he's here now. So we're excited that they're joining us on the show and can tell us a bunch of different things. First, they'll be able to tell us, let's wave to Joel. And we all love Joel. Joel's the setup man. Hi, Joel.
And then there he is.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah. So I'm excited to be back with Bluum. And, for those who may be new to the conference or may not know, can you give an overview of what Bluum does?
It's pretty simple, actually. We specialize in technology and supporting it in K-12 spaces.
Right, and it's nationwide and into Canada, right?
That's correct.
As well. Awesome. And I know last year we talked, and it just rang a bell, we were talking about the Chromebooks and how you had the new the Chromebook refresh, right?
That's correct.
And
yes.
so that how's that program been going? Good?
Exceptionally well, yeah. There's still a fairly significant demand. Schools looking to stretch their budget as much as possible.
Exactly.
And we're able to help them with, off-lease Chromebooks that have gone through the system and been spat back out, but we recertify them, put them back in the hands of, students and teachers alike at a great price point, and they solve that need perfectly.
Right, and we'll be sure to put on the show notes how you can directly get in touch with Joe to make sure if you want to get into those Chromebooks or anything that we speak about today, over the next couple of days, you can absolutely reach out to Joe or Omar, and we'll start to go from there. All right, so let's talk new setup this year, guys. A lot of different things. What kind of products are we really promoting this year that you're seeing is really there's a desire and a need in the K-12 space?
Well, I think we're seeing a need and a niche for some modern classroom setups. Modular classrooms are becoming extremely popular just by the very virtue and nature of themselves. Being able to structure a classroom in a number of different ways to promote a healthy and positive learning environment. So we've got a great setup downstairs right now. It's a model classroom setup. We've got desks and chairs and whiteboards and some interactive panels, and we're holding a ton of sessions there, just showcasing all this furniture, how it can be utilized. The teachers going in love it. They see how modular it is. It's really working out well.
Omar, you want to add anything about the modular classroom design?
Well, I think back to the days when I was school age, when we used stone tablets and things of that nature. We certainly
You're back in my age.
Yeah, well,
chalkboards.
Maybe some of us can associate themselves with that time, but today they don't have to grudge through that. And I think what we're doing today and throughout the next few days is really showcasing what a modern classroom really is. Joe mentioned the mobility. That's one aspect of it, but what does the mobility say to the speaking, to the experience of from the teacher's point of view, and also, and perhaps more importantly, from the student's point of view? Right. I know that if I could have kicked my legs up and been in a more relaxed mode, then algebra maybe would have gotten to me a little quicker than it did.
Fair point.
Right? So, today, Bluum, in association with all of our partners, would like to show what that looks like and what it could mean to your classroom.
I think that's really important, and the reason why is sometimes teachers don't really get to see it, right? You try to picture it, you use augmented reality, whatever the case may be, but when you see now and then here the actual setup of the modern classroom and what is possible, it's quite powerful because, like you said, Omar mentioned, I can't myself sit in a desk for a really long time. I need to be moving. I need to get comfortable. I need to be able to get my creative juices flowing. And if it's the same regiment where you're trying to be, okay, everybody sit here for, ELA for an hour, or, when you could be reading and put your feet up, be on a rocker. There's a nice little rocker over here next to us, maybe a different kind of stool, really gives students the autonomy to kind of choose their own learning experience.
Well, I mean, I just want to build off of that, especially what you're talking about environments in the modern classroom. I mean, I think what we're talking about, the modern classroom is beyond the furniture. So the way education is moving, I think hopefully we're finally breaking down those old factory model walls. Like, I remember you're talking about your age, but I still remember the film strip projector.
Yeah.
Whoever got to turn that film. But the modern classroom does not relate to the classroom of 10, 15, 20 years ago. So what we're looking at in order to engage and motivate and instill in our students to have those new portrait of a graduates, at least for like New York State, what we're looking for that creative communicator and that collaborator.
Yep.
You need, everything starts with designing the environment for them to be successful. And that environment anymore is not a row of desks and chairs, but flexibility for those collaborative things. You guys, I'm sure can build off, like when you guys are at work and you're meeting, you're not sitting in rows or in cubicles. What's your workspace like?
Yeah, so those are some fantastic points. So I have a stand-up desk that I utilize, and people in our office have similar offerings, but we have a great number of different sorts of spaces that speak situationally to what it is that you want to achieve, right? Yeah. So we're lucky enough to be in contact with the who's who of the educational environment and space, and when you're doing so, you want to, if you're not going to be there in person with them, then you want to be as comfortable
absolutely
and accommodating to the situation as possible. And there's a whole myriad of things that speak to that. So we're talking about seating today, or even with the table setting.
Yeah.
But what about the technology that we're using?
Correct.
And I'd like to draw it back a little bit and think about things from this aspect, which is, if we look at film from the 1930s, and if we had a peek into what a classroom looked like then, it's certainly different than what it looks like today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what does that say? It's saying that as we evolve in both technology, other things should evolve with us. There's no reason to evolve only or solely in the technology, but not in other aspects of what we're trying to do.
Right, and piggybacking off that, Omar, you're right, is the technology moves at light speed. And it seems like, the modern classroom redesigned with furniture and what is possible is trying to catch up now, right? It's really trying to catch up.
And I kind of want to go back to something that Omar said. It's, your classroom now is more about spaces than anything else. So, where is your individual learning space? Where is your group learning space? Where is your small group instruction space? We can't constantly be picking up and moving equipment, chairs and desks, but having that flexible equipment. But you brought up the technology that goes along with it. Where is the connectivity? What can you build in that infrastructure of the classroom beyond just one interactive panel on a board?
Right. All right, so that's there's going to be a ton of sessions, and I think they're kind of geared. What I was looking at the conference schedule is they're going to have them for all different grade levels. So I saw this morning there was one at 9 a.m. There was something in the modern classroom, and then they're going to have it so first grade to fifth grade and all the way up. So, as you're attending the event, please stop by, check out, try many different seats, right? It's almost like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Which one's just right? Let's find out. All right, so the other thing that really was interesting me, and then we'll go into more of the booth setup, is there's an item that I just picked up off the table. It's called Pocket Talk. Pocket Talk Plus. Can you guys tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's essentially an all-in-one real-time translator. So where we've been seeing this having the biggest impact is in certain cases in the classroom, of course, but some of the instances where I've seen there's been a high demand for this is parent-teacher interviews.
Yeah.
So
right.
We're getting parents coming in, and there's a definite language barrier between the staff members and the students' parents, and this is bridging that gap really, really well. It supports a ton of languages. I think it's 85 plus languages around the world, and it's definitely helping in those situations. There's a ton of uses. You could just think of them right off your head, but from a classroom perspective, when you're looking at students and parents alike, definitely a very useful tool to have.
It definitely is when we think of the diversity of our nation overall, and like you said, breaking down the walls of the barrier, so to speak, of communication. When a teacher or an educator or principal needs to communicate with that family member that may not have an ELL teacher available to help translate, this is now a way where you can quickly get the information, and it fits in your pocket. Right, I think that's part of the reason why it's called. But it gets the information. It's able to. I'm going to pass it to Dan.
Yep.
It gets the information to the parent, right? And you're able to have that dialogue and keep it going, right? And then that way you can really say if there's challenges with academics, emotional, behaviors, whatever it may be. You can clearly communicate and articulate that to the family at home, so it can be addressed, which is it's a challenge. It really is a challenge nowadays.
I think if we think of it from this perspective, in my view, one of the most important things and aspects to learning and how well you learn is your understanding. And if your language that you speak at home doesn't happen to be English, there's certain words that you could mistake.
Absolutely.
There's certain words you could misunderstand. And that all trickles into your learning experience. So what Pocket Talk does is it eliminates that.
Yeah.
Right? And also from the administrative side or point of view, from the teacher's point of view, you want to make sure that all of the things that are critical to your lesson are understood by all of your class, right? That leads into the outcome. And so that's why Pocket Talk and other translation services like it are key to the learning environment.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, Joe, if you've heard, but Pocket Talk's coming out with the second edition, which is the husband edition. And essentially, it's going to help us all, I think, in some way, shape, or form. It's really going to tell you what your wife means when she says, it's okay to go out with the boys.
We needed to end on that
We need
note.
that. It's
I'm in so
fine.
much trouble right there already. Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, how many different translations of "it's fine" are we going to get?
Right?
Yeah. Does it read the tone in it?
There's lots
Does
of
it
value.
interpret
There's
it?
a lot of
There's a
value
lot
there.
of
Cutting edge
value.
technology.
They'll
these
save
guys.
lives at the end of the day.
Lives and among other things, marriages as well, so
Yeah.
you don't get in trouble going out with the boys.
Relationship builders.
That's it. That's it. All right, let's talk. What else do we got going on here at the Bluum booth for setup-wise, Joe?
Well, we've got our front row in classroom audio system right in front of us with a lapel mic, which has been a staple in classrooms for many years now.
Yeah.
We're showcasing it once again just because people need to know about it. Some people still don't realize that they don't have to be up there. Teachers don't have to be up there straining their voices to get their points across to their students. Strap on a lapel mic around your neck, turn that speaker up, and you can talk just the way I'm talking right now. Students at the front and the back of the class alike are hearing it just fine. It's a fantastic addition to any classroom.
So it really amplifies the voice of the teacher. And sometimes,
Absolutely.
Like you said, if you're getting 30 kids in a classroom at a time, there is that extraneous noise, kind of like what you hear on the background floor here of the show. It's good to make sure that we can make sure that they are understanding and clearly hear the articulation and the teaching points that the teacher's making.
Yeah, and admittedly, there are teachers out there that have absolutely zero issue projecting their voice.
Yeah, that's
Right.
like me. I got
And
you.
that was me.
Right? There's some people are just, they have that innate ability to do that, whereas this product here definitely bridges the gap. And kind of to allude back to what we were talking about with the translator, certain students that don't necessarily understand English to the fullest extent, this device really helps with the enunciation of words.
It amplifies it so they can hear it better.
The T's and the TS's and the DS's
Yeah.
are
Great
very
point.
distinct, and it allows for these students to pick up more than they would just based off the teacher's voice alone.
Awesome.
So I'm picking up a little theme about Bluum this year. Maybe it's just my own perception, but other things that you're putting forefront with the modern classroom downstairs and the tools and the voice amplifier is you're really looking at, you can come over here and we can see what accessibility
Yep.
looks like, and how we can create that accessible classroom using the technology as a partner with the teacher and with the students. I mean, it's not only about that loud, booming voice, but student that does have a hearing aid, but that doesn't mean that's the only student that can benefit from hearing an amplified voice.
Right.
Absolutely. Teacher being able to project in a calm voice that's not overwhelming can really create a different environment. So I think I'm seeing a lot with the flexible furniture, the Pocket Talk, the amplifier, a lot about what Bluum can bring in terms of accessibility.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, if you want to dive a bit deeper, Bluum is really the antithesis of rigidity, because our end goal at the end of the day is to understand the needs of your specific classrooms, your specific school grounds,
right,
and come up with a flexible solution that's going to benefit your teachers, your staff, your students as much as possible, without having a, call it blueprint that's immobile.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's so key. Thanks for pointing that out, and thanks for pointing out the accessibility piece. For us at Bluum, it's always about how much better can education be, and what impact can we make, and how can we widen that impact. We spoke about a few of the things, accessibility being one, and very specifically communication and how that looks in the classroom. I feel like a good education shouldn't be subject to just a single few.
Right.
We want to be able to put tools and utility into classrooms that speak to everything. A student shouldn't have to walk into a classroom and genuflect to the circumstances of the old world classroom.
Right.
When we have new world technology that speaks to a better brand of education. And that's really what we're trying to do as a partner.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you guys always partner with us. And I want to piggyback. Not only did you say accessibility, but mobility with the classrooms, right? Like I got one of these, it's a jar system. It's a plug charge on the go, right?
Yep.
Very simple. Probably plugs, probably charges for a while, a couple Chromebooks. So if they're on that flexible furniture, or they're in something where, listen, we know some of these buildings, many of the buildings were built in the Stone Age, like Omar referenced, and there's not a lot of electricity sources that are going to be beneficial. I know we have the nice cart over here, which is always great, but as a student is on a device and they need a quick charge, these battery packs are going to be awesome. It comes with a case of 6 or something right here in this, and it quickly charges. You take one, you go, you put it back in at the end of class, and on to the next one. I love this.
So I would just want to go back to you, because you brought up a few times, Omar and Joe, about being a partner. So it's not just a partner in the purchasing, right? Tell us a little bit more about how you partner with the people you work with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a partnership every step of the way, right? Like at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is listen to your specific needs and goals, and not just push a box towards you and say, here you go, good luck, see you next time. No, we're with you every step of the way. Once we design a solution in mind, we start talking about some of the auxiliary services that we offer. For example, professional development.
Yeah.
This is something that we can really help schools with by providing them, obviously, a service that allows them to fully integrate the technology that they're bringing in their doors. Far too many times in the past, we're seeing schools purchase, call it whatever you want, some degree of technology.
Right, any kind of product.
Looks great on paper. They bring it in, and then it just sits on the shelf and gets no use. Or it's underutilized. There's 10% of it being used.
Right.
And ideally, what we were trying to promote when we initially talked about this product was everything you could do with it.
Right.
It's unfortunate because obviously everyone's got a busy day, teachers have enough going on, but to devote a few hours to try and fully utilize that product is extremely beneficial, and that's just one of the numerous ways that we partner with our customers.
I mean, I can say, for example, we've purchased a lot of things that, not even the hardware, but I remember years ago we bought VR headsets, Class VR, and
from you guys,
and for years we had the PD that that was set up through you guys to help us launch it and maintain it and keep growing with it.
Yeah, and I will say, I know it's not part of the theme here, but Class VR you guys still offer. That is hands down, I think, the best AR, VR kind of thing that you can utilize now, because you don't need a separate device. It's all encompassed in one. The software and everything that's preloaded into it, it keeps, it just keeps getting better and better for experiences for the students, where you don't have to, like you said, we have the PD part, but you don't have to overthink it, and it's not another thing. It's so integrated into what these students are learning on a day-to-day basis and how it can tie into the everyday curriculum. That is another great product that you can get from Bluum. All right. So I did want to mention one other thing. Last year, I know we had a bunch of different panels. Are there any, and Joe, you and I were talking recently about a bunch of different panels. Are we still looking at certain size? Like, are they growing in size now for classrooms, like the new lines, the LGs, all those things? Are they getting bigger and bigger, or are we pretty much staying, the interactive panels are such a big component of the classroom because we're not doing film strip like Dan said and dated himself. But those panels, are are they still growing in size, or is there really a niche size that all the classrooms are typically using now?
No, they're definitely growing. We're finding that there is an increasing demand for larger screens. I believe 98-inch is one of the most recent ones that I've helped with a solution, and we're seeing bigger than that too. Not on the interactive side.
Right.
I'm not sure if the interactive side will ever catch up to
Yeah,
a 160-inch screen.
That's crazy.
But there are also demands for large format screens. They're great for hallways. They're great for common spaces.
Yeah.
You've got the wall space. The technology is finally here, allowing you to deploy these things, and you can broadcast whatever you want on it. You can section them off. They're all magnetic tiles, meaning if a pixel goes out, it's a quick swap in, swap out. You're right back to what you were the other day.
That's great. That because you think of our tube TVs and everything else, the plasmas. Now with this technology, it is such a quick fix, I guess. And obviously Bluum's able to help you get that fixed really quick. It's awesome.
Yeah, you can do it yourselves. It's actually very simple. There's a little tool they give you. You plug it in. We always send extra panels with every one of these large format screens. You plug it in, you plug it out, take the new one, it goes right back in, and
accessibility
brand new.
of my 198-inch TV. I love it.
Well, it is about, but I'm thinking about the larger screens, the smaller screens, the interactive, the not interactive. There's a whole variety out there, but it brings me back to the whole idea of spaces now. Like your community space in your schools, your classroom space, your collaborative space, your library media space, your club space, your sports space. Like everything now can be designed thinking about spaces instead of like the physical architecture.
Absolutely.
And I think that's, as I'm looking around here, all the things to offer, that's something everyone should check out, is like looking at what the furniture and all this can do about accessibility in spaces.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing instances where these large format screens are completely replacing scoreboards, which you would have to assume is the natural progression of the technology, right? Instead of the little bulbs lighting up, we've got a full-fledged 4K, 200-inch screen at the far end of a.
I think that's great because you think about filming graduations and everything like that. Now you can stream it and everybody can see it with no problems.
Yep, offers more utility.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. All right. So a lot going on. Any final thoughts? Dan, Omar, Joe, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're at the show, come check us out.
Absolutely.
Booth 2324. You'll see us right at the corner, just outside that the stadium auditorium section. We'd love to say hi.
Yeah.
That's it. Tell them Andrew sent you.
Well, listen, but honestly, come on by. We're going to leave all the podcasting gear out. Joe and Omar can get you guys set up with this gear as well, if it's something that you're interested in getting into the podcasting realm. So you can definitely check out all of that gear as well. But that's going to wrap up episode 68. Of course, we will be here for the next few days. We will keep you posted. I'm sure we will talk to Joe and Omar again over the next 2 days with the exhibit floor just getting underway here at the annual NYSCATE 2025 conference.
Hold on a second. I just want to get our booth.
Put it on the film.
There we go. So we're here on the exhibit floor. If we do release this video, you'll get a good sneak preview.
We're going to release it. Don't worry.
Of the showroom floor, and I can't wait to see the modern classroom downstairs.
Yeah. So, of course, any questions, comments, please reach out. Tech hard, work smart, live in adventure.
Find Andrew on all socials at A Nicola Tech and Dan at WCSD Tech DR.